Good morning, Mush Puffs. What is going on? How you guys doing on this fantastic Wednesday morning? It is November 14th, 2018. And man, if it seems like I'm fired up, it's because I am a little bit fired up. I'm a little bit pissed off, and I'm going to start with my pistivity. Let's start there because I got a little bit of anger inside of me that I really need to address. Okay, so the last two nights, my plan was to bring back the Copious review. You know, the Monday night and the SmackDown review. I planned on going back to it, but I didn't think it through when I made the announcement because next week I'm leaving. I'm on my way. I'll be in Chicago, then I'll be going to Germany, so I won't be able to get back to a regular schedule for a couple of weeks. So why would I do such a thing? So I decided not to. And of course, when I make that decision to not do it, what happens? What happens? Monday Night Raw gives us an instant iconic moment with Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey, the blood, everything. It was this amazing thing. We're going in Survivor Series full bore. Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, they got a main event. Everything's going amazing. So what could possibly go wrong? Go into Tuesday. The news breaks that Becky Lynch got her face broken. Motherfucking face broken. Not a little bit, a lot of bit. Got her face broken and a severe concussion. They keep pushing severe concussion, which probably tells me it's fairly severe because they keep using the word. I mean, what else can you come to? It's got to be severe. They keep saying the word. So you move in through the day and you start hearing all this stuff and you're like, well, what is WWE going to do? All we keep thinking about is what is WWE going to do? To the point where we don't think about anything else. All we're thinking about is the women. And what is Becky going to do? Is Becky going to drop the title? Is she even going to show up on SmackDown? What's going to happen with her? Is she going to pick somebody else? Do they go obvious with Charlotte? It seems to be the only move. And that's all anybody thought about. The last thing anybody thought was that they were going to shake up the entire event to, and really, if you think about it, in some ways, WWE to its very core, because they open in a very strange manner. We get Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles, even though we're a couple weeks removed from their match and they're a little bit of a tiff over the WWE Championship. I mean, Daniel Bryan's moved on to a good thing with Survivor Series and The Miz, and it seems like some good stuff is going to come out of there, and they're going to slow burn this thing. But they said, F yo couch last night, motherfuckers. They came in and said, F yo couch. We're flipping everything on its head, and we're going to get out of order mainly because there's not a lot to talk about on SmackDown other than the big stuff. And this is the big stuff. To think that Daniel Bryan would be going in to Survivor Series as WWE Champion. I mean, somebody would have gave you, on January 1st of this year, somebody would have gave you 1,000 to 1 odds on that happening. I mean, let's just look at how unlikely this is. Now, me and a lot of other people feel that this was a direct response to the situation with Becky Lynch, and the WWE is like, okay, look, we understand. This is a straight panic move by us. This is what I thought. I think I'm wrong on this, but this is what I thought. We're panicked, obviously. We're freaking out. We saw what you saw on Monday. We've been watching. We've been hearing. We know that Becky and Ronda is one of the hottest wrestling storylines, and it's really not much to it. It's incredible how hot this damn storyline is, and we understand that. Because we're panicking, here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you the best possible secondary matchup that we can give you, which is Charlotte and Ronda. So we'll give you that. Now, that doesn't equal a full situation with Becky and Ronda. But how about we give you a little added extra bonus, and we know you love AJ Styles as champion, but if you remember last year we gave you a situation where we were going to have an uninspired main event with Brock Lesnar and Jinder Mahal. 2 weeks before the event, what did we do? We gave you AJ Styles as the WWE champion. In fact, he's been champion since that day. That was 371 days ago or whatever it was. He's been champion since that moment. So we take care of you. So I know we're panicking. You know we're panicking. But we take care of you. We're WWE and we give you that. Remember, we gave you AJ Styles. So you got to trust us here. Because AJ would go on to have a pretty good match with Brock Lesnar. but nothing spectacular that we can't live without. Now you've gotten that, so why don't we make this a little bit sweeter for you? And we understand that Becky's hurt and it's unfortunate and you're upset, but what if we give you Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar? Would you like that? So that's really the gamble that WWE seems to be taking. Now, I think that I'm wrong on that initial feeling, because that's what I felt at the beginning. Now, it appears, I think they still moved up the timeline, but it appears that this has been in the works for a little bit, because now that I think about it, Daniel Bryan has been talking about going heel in some interviews. He has talked about that possibility, and apparently it's something that the WWE is working to. Furthermore, you can just look at the story. You can look at television and see that Daniel Bryan's been different, and one of the people who has been on this since the beginning has been Bear. He noticed a lot of the subtle things, especially with The Miz acting a little bit different as well. So big credit to him on that, because I mean, everybody saw that Daniel Bryan was certainly acting different. But a full-blown heel turn, which it looks like it's going to be, I don't think a lot of people had that. So that's the trade-off WWE has asked you guys to take. So the question is, do you accept it? Hold on. In your eyes, even with all the amazing stuff that we've seen out of Becky Lynch, knowing that she's probably going to be okay, given that they did not take her title away last night, which I did think they were going to do, she held on to the title, so that's probably a good sign. Now, knowing that she's going to be okay, is this a trade that you are acceptable of? Can you accept the fact that while we're not going to get Becky and Ronda now, we're going to give you Daniel Bryan and Brock Lesnar, a match that a lot of people have been clamoring for, a match that Daniel Bryan's been clamoring for? I don't know why. I don't think it's going to be very good, and I am afraid that Daniel Bryan's going to get hurt, and that's not just because I think that Brock Lesnar is a dangerous worker, because I don't think that Brock is necessarily all that dangerous. He's got pretty good control of his body. When he wants to hurt you, he will. Ask Randy Orton. Whether or not they had the pre-game plan of busting him open the hard way, Brock thought he did, and Brock will hurt you if he thinks it's okay, and that's exactly what happened there. So it's going to be very interesting how much WWE is going to protect Daniel Bryan in this match, and I'm not sure how much they're going to. The fact that they put the WWE Championship on him right now is mind-boggling to me. So, all right, now that we got those first couple of thoughts out there and we've ranted and rambled, let's back up. Let's back up a little bit, and we're going to go back through everything. We're going to talk about it rationally and try to get your guys' thoughts on it. But first, big shout out to everybody in the chat. How you guys doing? Make sure you tweet out the stream. Let everyone know that we are live. Big love and shout out to P-Gay, Raging Max, my dude, Auntie, who asked Dave, who do you think is physically stronger between Rock and Lesnar? I'm going to give Lesnar the nod there, because he's got that good old-fashioned Midwestern Mongo strength. You can't teach that, remember? Let's see here. Fake's happy because he's actually awake for it. Josh Lines is here. Got my wake and bake down and chilling the Dead on Dave and some Red Dead. That sounds like a damn good morning, Josh Lines. Damn good morning. And big shout out to two people. Vega for making this brand new frame for the Dead on Dave Live. Dead on Dave Live frames. I'm also using it for the morning slams in certain situations. This was one of them. Big shout out and love to him. And of course, right over here, big shout out and love to Fake Ass Twat for today's thumbnail as well. Fantastic job. Ben Young, how you doing? Luna Blarf, what's going on, gorgeous? Dalton Clark, I think Bryan as heel is a bad move. He was so over when he first returned, wasted potential, really. I disagree with you. I think it's a good move, and I'm going to talk to you and talk a little bit more about why in just a little bit. Daniel's been cooling off lately, though. He was booed against AJ a couple weeks back. Very true. Granted, it was AJ's hometown, but still. No, I feel that there's been a little bit of a deceleration in Bryan as well, but we'll see. Hey, AJ Styles heel turn incoming? I don't think so, Raging Max. I don't think so. If it'll be a major change if that's happening. I'm wondering if he's hurt, because he also got removed from the mixed match challenge, and he wasn't just switched out for Daniel Bryan in the Survivor Series match. So I'm wondering if something else is wrong with AJ that we don't know about. Where Dave Meltzer or cage side seats? Yes, that's right. Brock Lesnar is going to kick Daniel Bryan's ass this Sunday at Survivor Series pay-per-view. You're probably right, Garth. It's going to be very interesting. Fake. The way Dave portrays WWE like they're a parent giving a spoiled child a couple of cool toys instead of the big awesome toy. It was the best way that I can put it, you know? Hey, $5 from Leaping Lizard.
Breaking news. Nia Jax released a massive Taco Bell fart in the backstage locker room last night, causing 3 more female wrestlers to be diagnosed with concussions.
There you have it. This is where the big breaking news happens. Let's do a hat change for that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Jesus Christ. That's breaking news. We got some more people out now because of the Taco Bell massive fart. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much there. Really appreciated. Yeah, well, you know what? That's how I had to put it, because that's what WWE is trying to do here. Or at least that's what I felt they were trying to do. Now, the reports have come out that, this has been long in the works. The WWE was going to make this move anyway. And again, we already talked to there's been some inclination to that in recent weeks. But it's still, it certainly doesn't look like it was just planned and that was it, you know? That was all this was. This was just a planned move. No. This definitely has been moved up, because they were going to give us AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar happily, because it's a great match. And even though we got it last year, it's something that everybody will see we'll get that anytime we can. But Daniel Bryan's on a whole nother level when it comes to that dream match, and it's one we haven't seen yet. So I get the reasoning behind it, and I do think it is why we can't give you this, we'll give you this instead. So, all right. So let's back it up, calm down just a little bit, and really get into the meat of this. Let's talk about the Becky Lynch side of it, okay? Because Becky has been the most interesting person for the last month in wrestling. She's been absolutely... Now, we got to keep that in mind, too. This whole heel turn, this whole persona, this whole superstardom, where she's getting cheered in every arena by everybody, it doesn't fucking matter. I mean, this is really transcendent. It reminds me of Austin. It's that hot. Every arena she walks into, it's Becky. It's craziness. Even against the other hotter friggin' names. Anyone that's hot, she's dwarfing them. This is very Austin-esque to me. It feels that way. And so she gets in this situation where we're going to get her and Ronda, and, we were going to get Charlotte and Ronda, so a lot of us was sitting there like, Becky and Ronda should be okay, but then, the attitude has come out more and more, and it's been about this character and this development and this amazing clash of personalities and talent, and we were going to get this, and that was good. So going in to SmackDown with the knowledge after the Nia Jax punch, and I'm going to talk about Nia Jax in just a moment, because I want to get to that. Get into my Discord, by the way, guys. This is the day you're going to definitely want to call in. If you want to get any thoughts, quips, quotes, likes, loves, whatever, get into Discord. Information is down below, and somebody will put it in the chat as well. But going into SmackDown with the knowledge that Becky was going to be dropping her spot at the very least. We knew she was going to be pulling out of the show. WWE announced that she had a broken face. They didn't really just get into the specifics of her nose. They also, for a lot of times, they have re-showed the footage and the pictures with the blood on Becky Lynch's face, which I guess a lot of people are going to speculate whether WWE is starting to turn over to a different motto when it comes to the blood. Are they going to start allowing it more often? We know that just a little bit of a situation will cause all kinds of speculation, and everybody will go crazy and start thinking that blood is coming back. It's not. I think that this was just one of those acceptable situations because it was so instantly iconic. Becky standing there with the blood all over. It's one of those moments that you're not going to be able to replicate. It's Austin with the blood against Hart. It's that. It's an instant iconic moment. It's something we're going to point to for a long time because it seems like it's a serious turning point, because even with her hotness that was coming in, it exploded even more. It dwarfed even more. So the question was going to be, how in the hell are they going to do this? We know she's going to be at SmackDown. How is she going to do it? Now, of all the ways to do it, I don't know if I would have picked the way that they chose to. To have Paige out there and let every single woman on the roster get an introduction and come out just for Becky to come and stand out in front of each one and judge if they're warranted or ready or whatever. I really didn't like it. It felt cheap to me. Becky is the man If anything, Becky should have called. See, and it's little things too. If anything, it's Becky who should have demanded that everybody came out and who's going to step up. We should also got a little bit more of Becky walking in the back and women coming up to her and telling her that they can step in and fill in for the man. Now, I think they made the right choice with Charlotte, because this was something that everyone was talking about for WrestleMania 35. I still thought it was too early for a WrestleMania match. But for a non-WrestleMania match, I think Charlotte and Ronda couldn't be more perfect of a matchup. You know, we kind of need this now to gauge where both of them are. And it's mainly because of Becky. Becky has changed the landscape. Becky Lynch has changed the pecking order in wrestling right now, because everybody else now knows the type of heat and pop that Becky's going to bring with her. They know it. They feel it all the time. They know exactly what level they're going to have to get to. So look for Charlotte and Ronda to absolutely tear down the house. Now let's talk about those. Let's talk about the handoff, because the only other person who seemed like even a possibility for Becky to give the ball to would have been Asuka. And the way Asuka was jumping around, I didn't fucking buy it very much. I didn't like it. I was like, okay, it's obviously going to be Charlotte. Now, after the moment that she goes up to Charlotte, which I also think they handled wrong from a production standpoint, just showing us Becky's back, and we really couldn't hear Becky, but she basically said, beat her the way I would have, make her tap out the way I would have, blah, 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 blah. And then after that, she hugged Charlotte. She brought her in for a hug. Now, I'm not going to lie. I recoiled at that, and I said, no, don't do this. Don't the sentimental Becky. Don't ruin this. But I realized I was panicking. I was overreacting. And in fact, the character that Becky is portrayed, showing emotion at that time makes all the sense in the world. It's not a deviation from the character. She was so stoic and she was trying to be so hard. That is a difficult injury, to have your face broken and a severe concussion. And she looked a little loopy at times. And I'm not going to lie. I'm really worried about Becky. I hope she's okay. It was a little bit weird to see those two like that. But it also wasn't, because of everything they'd gone through. It makes sense. And here's another thing that I don't think a lot of people thought of. It's an eventual first step that rebuilds that bridge to get us to the 4 horsewomen versus the MMA's 4 horsewomen. It's that first step. And here's why I ultimately like it. Whether it was planned or unplanned, it's a natural first step. So now, because we know that was eventually going to come, whether it was in a year or 2 years, it was eventually coming. We were getting the 4 horsewomen versus the 4 horsewomen. It's coming right down our fucking throats. We can't help that. But it was going to be awkward to see how they just jammed all. It's like when they do the Evolution reunions and Randy has to somehow try to act like a good guy again, or act somewhat civil and weird. It's just bizarre, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But now we got a natural bridge to that. It's very similar to Roman Reigns, who, WWE for years has been trying to artificially create a soft landing spot for him to be able to take that spot in which they want him to become. Leukemia, God took care of it for him, because now if he's able to come back, holy shit, it's perfect. And it's the same thing with this. So I kind of like that, and I didn't mind it too much. But it is very interesting to see how the whole damn thing has happened. And I don't mind the way that they did it as much as I did at first, because I was so worried that they were going to deviate from this course that Becky's on. And I'm like, no, please don't do this. This is not good. This is niche bueno. No. But I digress. Okay, before we get into any more with AJ and Daniel, and I do want to talk about that, because they also gave it away early in the show. They gave it away. They gave that away, and I want to talk to you and tell you about it, why. Let's talk about Nia Jax, because we've yet to do so. Before we do that, let's go ahead and look at the chat again, see what's going on. WWE probably moved AJ from the Mixed Match Challenge because it'd be weird for him to wrestle in a meaningless tournament right after he lost the title and Daniel brutally attacked him. I guess so, but I mean, it's still weird to have that type of removal, this type of quick jerk. Look, a 371-day title reign is no small feat. To end it on a televised show and not a pay-per-view, to give away a big moment, especially when, they were supposed to have that big pay-per-view match at at Crown Jewel. And it also makes you wonder if this wasn't supposed to happen at Crown Jewel. They obviously couldn't do it the night before, or the couple days before Crown Jewel on that SmackDown when they did give away that match. But it makes you wonder if this moment was supposed to happen at Crown Jewel. If this was the match and this was the finish that was supposed to take place there. I'm starting to wonder that, because that would make sense, because that gives them a couple of weeks to build to Brock. But if they were going to do that, then why? Yeah, it still makes it difficult when they go to plan B, because they did have that good laid-in plan of the co-captains of Team SmackDown. I don't know, but we'll talk about that more in just a moment. GunCannon, I'm thinking it's AJ to Raw to go after Universal title. It's very possible. I wouldn't mind having a problem with that. Fistable Frodo. I love the name. Good alliteration. Doesn't AJ have issue with his back? He always does, but not currently anything that I know of. Not currently anything that I know of. I think Terry Snow Queen's in the house. So is Ricochet. Amy Leanne, how you doing? Her poor face. Damn it. I know. Awful, awful. Fake. I love the shaking of her hand and that hug. It felt real, and it made sense that Becky and Charlotte would respect each other again after their brutal feud. Plus, this solidifies Becky as a face. No, I don't think it solidifies Becky as a face, and that would be a mistake if that's what they're going to do. Becky just needs to be this ultra-confident champion. The every woman. She needs to be Austin, and that's it. Kick people's ass when they deserve to be kicked. Talk to them the way they deserve to be talked, and let them all know that your leader is here. The man comes to town. That's all you have to do. And she can just do whatever she wants. That's what Austin was able to do. That's what Rock was going to be able to do. That's all you have to do. And it's the same thing that we're seeing now, and I like that. GunCannon. I think we're getting Charlotte win, mutual respect from Rousey and Charlotte, and then new Flair Lynch feud. See, now the thing with that one, and we're going to get to the Nia Jax thing in just a moment, but the thing with that, and my problem with it, if Charlotte beats Ronda, then there's really no reason for Becky to go after Charlotte right now. It might propel the 4 horsewomen thing going forward, but I think Ronda has a lot more to lose losing this match than Charlotte does. Plus, if Charlotte loses, it gives Becky a reason to immediately be pissed off at Charlotte, thus starting a new chapter in their feud if that's the direction they choose to go. So I don't know if I like that too much, at least as the rationale. I don't have a problem with Charlotte winning necessarily, but the rationale behind it, I don't know if it works. Everyone lies. I can't believe she pulled off that performance with a concussion. Yeah, I know. It's craziness. Adrian Blom, what's going on? How you doing? Good to see you, buddy. Everyone lies. Production is misery. They didn't even get the low blow on camera. Yeah, not very well. It didn't work out. All right, let's talk about Nia Jax. Okay. So, at first, I had no idea what happened in that match. Not even the match. The skirmish at the end of Monday Night Raw when Becky came into the ring. But it happened really quickly. And if I made a joke yesterday and I said, probably Nia Jax. I made a joke about it because I didn't know who did it. But I said, probably Nia Jax. And it turned out it, in fact, was Nia Jax who did it. Oh, man. This is not good for Nia. Nia, who's somebody that has already had a very much maligned relationship at times with WWE. Lots of times where she takes time off, she goes away and does things. We don't really know why and where and all kinds of stuff. She'll just take these 2 or 3 month coolers. And we don't know if it's WWE just writing that way. We know that, it's a little bit more difficult with her because she's The Rock's cousin and all this type of stuff. But there's always something going on with Nia that always seems a little bit off or weird. The direction always seems wrong. She has hurt people in the past. She seems very reckless. She's been around too long to still be so green. And I think that's a problem that a lot of people have as well, because she does have a very gravity-based offense. And I want to give her all the benefit of the doubt that I can, because she is big, because she's got so much size and she's got so much power. But man, the more that I've watched these videos that have come out, that have shown the different angles, even and this is the most damning one to me, WWE's in-ring camera, when they showed Nia Jax connecting with Becky and the way she connected, her fist was damn near all the way fully closed. The way she loaded back, the way she followed through, she threw an actual punch, which you don't do in wrestling. Even when you're trying to make something look real, even when you're trying to do the miss where you're going over someone's head on purpose, which is a rare spot, but they do, they don't look like normal punches. She turned around and threw a flat fucking right hand as hard as she could, or whatever, maybe it was left, I don't fucking know. She came across her body from behind and absolutely laid out Becky. I cannot look at it and say this is accidental and we need to give this benefit. No, I can't get there, man. And I like Nia Jax. Everybody knows that. I've been a fan of Nia for a long time, and I overlook a lot of things, but I'm the guy who sat here and lambasted Brie Bella for hurting Liv Morgan. I went after her harder than almost any wrestler I've ever gone after when it comes to wanting an actual reaction. I'll tell you, there needs to be some sort of response here, because at least with Brie's move, it was a spot that they know. Those kicks are something that happens all the time. In a skirmish like this, when somebody just turns around and decides to throw a punch, it's a different thing altogether. The situations are not equal. This is a punch. It's not something that's supposed to happen. You're so rarely supposed to connect with a punch. Now, you can go ahead and show something that correlates in that very same match with Brie Bella when it was either her or Nikki that just forearm shivered, what's her name, Ruby Riott. I mean, gave her a real hard forearm. But even then, that's one of their moves, that forearm shiver that they like to give. She just lost control of it. Nia throwing a punch in not even a way that I'm typically used to seeing Nia throw a punch. It just was hard to watch. I can't give her any benefit of the doubt here, because either way you look at it, this is a problem. And people were responding, it was like, it's her size, and why would she do this? If why would she do this is your best defense for Nia, you're on the wrong side of the argument. You got to come up with something better. In this situation, if you're going to defend Nia Jax, you need to come up with conclusive reasons as to why she would not do this, when the videotapes from every angle and every speed is showing that it looks like she clearly did, because she threw an actual punch. Now, I know that wrestlers who are going to, and Ryback's going on the warpath and fucking trying to take people out for saying this type of stuff. I don't give a fuck. Fuck a Ryback. I may never have been a wrestler. I did a couple of weeks at a wrestling school. I've been around it my entire life. I know how things are supposed to go. I know how, and more importantly, I know how things are supposed to look. That looked wrong. And I understand that a lot of wrestlers are going to back Nia Jax, and they're going to fucking go into the brotherhood, the sisterhood, and that's what they're supposed to do. And that's perfectly fine. But that punch is a little bit different to me. It's just different. Now, Terry's saying, wasn't Becky punching Nia in the back of the head? But not actually. Becky wasn't actually hitting her. They looked like wrestling punches. They looked like wrestling punches to me. It didn't look like anything that was real that Nia was reacting to. And even so, at your size, to throw a punch like that and destroy somebody, knowing that everybody else in the ring with you is a quarter of your size, that's not the way to handle something, even if that would be the case. And honestly, there wasn't enough there for me to say that that's what happened. I can't get there on that. I can't, because they look like regular Becky Lynch punches to me. It looked like she was just going after her because that was the different sides. Nia's looked a little different. It really did. It looked like she really punched the shit out of her. I don't know. It's fucking crazy to me, but it is what it is. But it's like, where do you put the onus here, and where does it stop? And I hate this. I hate witch hunting. I hate going after people. I hate saying that somebody is definitively wrong. But in this case, this feels like it is a pretty clear situation. Now, reportedly, from all the other experts out there, there's already heat on Nia Jax, and some people in the chat were saying there might have actually been something that was already happening between Becky and Nia. Now, I don't know that. Maybe I forgot what happened, but I have no idea. Tony Weiglin says Nia Jax should go back down to NXT. I agree with that. Dalton Clark says, you want Ronda Strong to go against Becky? People want that match. I agree. That's why you have Ronda beat Charlotte, which will still piss people off. Josh Lyons asked, isn't there issues personally with these two, though? Now, see, I don't know that one. That one I never heard. Fake. Hopefully Nia takes this as motivation to improve herself and go to the PC. If it was not predetermined, then yeah. Yeah, If it was not something that Nia was trying to do on purpose and only she will know this, then yeah, I hope the same thing too, Fake. I hope that she takes this and learns from it and moves forward in the right way and becomes a better performer because of it. But honestly, I don't know. Can I give you a reason why I think that she would do that on purpose? No, I can't. I can't, other than how it looked. And Camille Perez says Charlotte punched Nia back right after. I haven't read about that, but I think, yeah, that seems like it was something that Charlotte would do. Nia wanted to get her shit in. I really don't know. Terry, I'm not defending her. I'm just asking. Oh, no, you didn't have to get defensive. No, I was just looking at it, and I was just answering the question. I wasn't saying you did anything wrong. You're fine, Terry. Amy Leanne, hit the like button, people. That's right. If you're in here, hit that like button. Smash it. You know what? You don't have to smash it and get all aggressive. If you're on your phone or something, if no one's around you, take it, kiss the like button. You can kiss it. Kiss it. That's all I'm saying. Carl G, I wouldn't be upset if Ronda beats, absolutely destroys, and kills Charlotte. That's right, Carl. That's right. We know how much you love Miss Charlotte. Leap and listen, no matter what beef you have, you don't take it out on a star less than a week for a pay-per-view. That's not best for business. No, you don't go into business for yourself. You absolutely don't. So no matter what way you want to look at it with Nia, she's wrong either way. Either, you know, she's too green, like a lot of people are saying, and she's still going to make those type of mistakes. And with her size, she's going to injure people, and that makes her a liability that might be too much to keep around. If it's the other and she actually had an intent, well, then even more so she needs to go. I have a hard time with this, you know, because I don't want to see anybody, you know, lose a job, get in trouble, any of those type of things. Those aren't cool. But what happened to Becky is not cool. You know, good Lord. It's just, man, she got destroyed. Little Blarp says Axe Jacks. I think a lot of people are looking for the exact same thing. Paul Stansby, smash that like button like Nia smashed Becky. That's right. Everyone lies. I'm trying to keep myself from commenting on it. I've always been critical of Nia. I don't want to be biased. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I give the benefit of the doubt to people in these situations unless I have reason not to. I didn't feel I had a reason to give Brie Bella benefit because of her history. And really, you got to kind of look at the same thing with Nia Jax. She doesn't really deserve defending in this one. All right. Let's talk about the big elephant in the room in the entire situation from Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. Who did he piss off that they continue to target the phenomenal penis? That's what I want to know. What has the penis done to WWE that every fucking somewhat controversial angle is about AJ Styles' dick? Why the fuck is everything about AJ Styles' dick right now? Like, my God. Daniel Bryan uses the low blow, the same tactic that Shinsuke Nakamura used against AJ Styles. Jesus Christ. It's unbelievable. What the fuck, man? What is happening? What is happening that this is the only thing they come up with? Okay, we need AJ to lose the title here. I know it's last minute, but we want to keep him strong too. Dick punch. But then we just do it with Shinsuke. It's okay. It's Daniel. No one will see it coming. And they're right about that. Nobody would see Daniel Bryan go into a low blow to get a victory. A very similar finish between Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles, I believe, as well. But the parallels of the Survivor Series from this year to last year, ironically enough, it wasn't just AJ Styles that was getting put into the match with Brock Lesnar. That was the only major change that we had for Survivor Series title versus champion last year. Charlotte also benefited from the event as well, as I believe she took out Natalya to represent SmackDown against Alexa Bliss, who was champion on Monday Night Raw at the time. I believe. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong on that. So this is the second year that they've had to make serious alterations to the matches because of a bunch of different reasons, but still, it is kind of interesting that it kind of involved the same people. Charlotte, AJ Styles being the big people that were involved. But it's just a crazy thing. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. I thought we just did that. Haha, Nia Jax is fat. Good fat joke. I'm proud of you. Fake. I think the witch hunting and people are calling for her head to be fired are absolutely ridiculous. She needs to be taken off TV and put in more time at the PC. If that's all it is. If it's just she is just green, then yeah. But this one doesn't look like it was to me, so maybe there's a bigger, serious problem. I really don't know. Kamel says it's gotta be an inside joke with AJ. It has to be. It has to be. But it was crazy to see that. And then the actual heel turn by Daniel Bryan, which is something that we have not talked about yet. The actual heel turn was quite interesting because seeing the deranged look on Daniel Bryan's face was just awesome to me. Now, this is the look and the type of Daniel Bryan I think a lot of people thought we were going to get with the whole Daniel Wyatt situation. Of course, that never really turned out. But I kind of like that since they are going to go heel with Daniel Bryan, it doesn't look like they're just going to go, Miz was right, I need to cheat. No. This looked like it was dastardly by Mr. Daniel Bryan. Now, I understand that over the last couple of weeks he's been talking about respect, and all of that, but still, my God, did they go very heavy with the psychosis of Daniel Bryan, which is even slightly different in some ways from his heel run as champion before. Now, a lot of people forget that, but when he first became champion back in the day, when he was holding the big gold brick, he was a heel. He did one of those runs as a heel. You know, no, yes, no, yes. But it was a derangement over a word. This seems to be a derangement over his entire... I want to see a bitter Daniel Bryan. I want to see bitter, crazy Daniel Bryan. Bitter, crazy, vicious Daniel Bryan. And here's the best part about the heel turn. We don't know who we're going to see at Survivor Series. We don't know which version of Daniel Bryan we're going to see. Are we going to see a cocky Daniel Bryan? I'm sneezing. What the hell just happened? I just coughed. I snuffed. I just had a sneezing coughing fit at the same time. What just happened? Holy hell. You guys just witnessed some sort of history there. I almost just died on camera. I almost exploded like a fucking pigeon who was given too much rice. Jesus. What the hell's the matter with me? Anyway. But to see this go down this route and to have him completely different type of heel, I think is a very interesting way to go. And I really like it. It opens up a lot of possibilities. It also might close one with The Miz, because The Miz showed last night that he is not on any magnanimous journey. He's still very much out for himself and still going to do things the way that he wants to do it. Does not matter, even so much so as he was going to go ahead and kick Rey Mysterio off the team. So I don't see any big change happening with The Miz. So that might mean a couple of different things. It might mean that this whole situation with Daniel Bryan as champion is going to be very short-lived, and he'll be returning the belt to AJ Styles very, very soon. Maybe as soon as TLC. Who knows? It could also mean that whatever plans they had for The Miz and Daniel Bryan going forward might be off, or we are going to revisit the possibility of The Miz working face to take on a heel Daniel Bryan going into WrestleMania 35, which I don't see being a very, very good way of going. Now, I could be wrong there. I've been wrong on a lot of this with Daniel Bryan, mainly because I'm shocked, actually shocked, that they put the belt back on him. Even in all the craziness, even everything that happened with Becky, even with them panicking a little bit, obviously, this is still a shock to me. You know, we're talking about a guy who wasn't even wrestling, you know, this time last year. You know, this is craziness. This is insanity. That not only would WWE bring him back after, you know, a two-plus year hiatus, you know, after everything that they went through with the he said, she said, so you're fucked up, no I'm not, you're fucked up, no I'm not, but to not only allow him to come back, but to have some of the matches that he's had, and to give him a world title run already, going into a match with Brock Lesnar. This is shocking. When it comes, it's such a 180, and it's such a weird WWE thing to do, right? Because everything was about protecting Daniel Bryan, trying to make sure that Daniel Bryan lives a long, healthy life. Now they're saying, fuck it, here you go, and we're going to accept all the risk of this possibility because we're going to make you champion too. So if Brock hurts you, he hurts us. I was not expecting this. See, and I like that, because if you would have asked me to put money on the most outrageous thing that I could think of happening, I wouldn't have picked this. Because this is that outrageous. This is that crazy to me, because it's such a high-risk situation. But in high risk comes very high reward. And there's a lot of things that can come from this instance. I'm very excited to see how this can go down. And not only that, because of everything that's happened over the last couple of days with Becky, with Daniel, it has completely rewritten everything for WrestleMania. And it seems like WWE is actually looking and taking the temperature of the room, because there's a couple of things that they could have done differently to make this go in a different direction had they wanted to. But to take AJ out and put Daniel Bryan in, to have Becky go out in the way that she did and pick Charlotte. Now, depending on what happens with these matches and other matches at Survivor Series, the way that Becky comes back, the way that AJ Styles comes back, maybe he leaves SmackDown completely. Maybe they work out a trade with someone on Raw and bring someone over to SmackDown that can replace AJ Styles and fit better with the new dynamic that is going to be happening with Daniel Bryan. Maybe that's the route that they choose to go. Maybe with the women, they decide it's time to finally split Charlotte after she loses to Ronda and she goes back over to Raw or something of that nature. And then Becky comes back with everything she has building behind her, but we still need somebody. So who did they trade back over from SmackDown? Well, they got a lot of people that can come over and give Becky quite a run. And if they want to make this work, if they want to really do something to change the dynamic, Charlotte and Sasha is the trade that they obviously need to make, or Asuka and Sasha. Get Sasha over to SmackDown, because if you think that Charlotte and Becky had a good rivalry, go back to Becky and Sasha Banks back in the day in NXT. Those two bring out such good things in each other, and they can have a fantastic rivalry and help further that distance with Becky in full-blown heel, because a heel turn by Sasha makes all the sense in the world. And with Becky calling herself the man, Sasha coming over to SmackDown and saying there's no room for a man when there's a boss, there's so many things they could do there, and it's just stuff that can wait and keep everything else simmering while some of these next women down there in NXT are getting ready. While Kairi Sane is getting ready, while Shayna Baszler and the rest of the 4 horsewomen are getting ready, while Io Shirai is getting ready, why Mia Yim, why all these, Toni Storm, the list goes on and fucking on. We have an influx of talent that's coming in that really, we've talked about how the evolution and the revolution of the women's division has kind of been fraudulent and bullshit up to this point, and to some degree it has been. It's been consolation prizes, but with what's been set up and this crazy way that we got to Becky Lynch in the entity and the way that she is right now, and with all the talent that's coming in, Jesus Christ, could we have some fun with the women's wrestler. And oh my God, can this be a lot of fun. This could be an absolute blast. Just the matchups that are coming, the matchups that they can make, the stories that they could tell. Because as I talked about yesterday, the reason why we are talking about this and the reason why we care so much is because of the character that Becky Lynch has taken on. Now that leads me to the last talking point that I have that I want to discuss before I take any calls. Now, if you want to get in and call, now is the time. Get your asses into my Discord, going to waiting to call. I'm going to get in my zone of copious thoughts and wait for you there. Get in a waiting call. I'll drag you up. Somebody go ahead and throw that link into the comment section. It's also down below in the description box. Let's see what's happening in the chat, because I got one more thing I want to talk about. I think they'll have them team up for a while, but then The Miz will turn face. I hope not. Heel Daniels hung stop on my face and choke me goat daddy, says Fake SWAT. Good Lord. Carl G. Oh, Rhonda's Instagram post is interesting. What did she say, Carl? Let me know. Kamel, do you think Brock will care for the match? I think he will. I think he knows that there's money in this match, and it could be a very interesting thing. Yeah, I think Brock will care. I think Brock will care. Fake. Brock better be fucking careful on Sunday. Want to talk about Reckless. See Brock drop the Singh brothers on their necks multiple times. Yeah, but that's also on the Singh brothers a little bit. The Singh brothers kind of took those a little roughly, and they have flung themselves into many things many times. You can look at their greatest hits as well. Okay. Dave, I retweeted something to you. Nia Jax just said. Read it. Oh, God. Where did you tweet it? You tweeted it? Hold on. Let me see it. Oh, no. Oh, no. What did she say? By the way, thank you so much. I think it was Leaping Lizard with the donation earlier. I greatly appreciate it. If we get to $10 before the end of the stream, I'll chug a beer. This is just a little extra, little love here. Let's see. Nia Jax. Whoa. Hey, we don't deliver mail. things happen, is anyone going to ask me about how my fist feels? What the fuck? Are you serious? Are you kidding me right now? Are you fucking kidding me? Man. I really, I don't know what to say about that one. That's fucking insanity. I don't even know how to properly respond to that. Like, really? That's the response? Maybe. Okay, so I'll tell you what. I'm going to walk back my position. It's 100% fake. It's 100% accidental. It's already been handled. It's already been taken care of. It's already been addressed. Becky's already signed off and accepted an apology from Nia Jax. Has to be. Because there's no way that Nia Jax posts something like that. Unless she really is just insane, sociopathic, and so secure because she is The Rock's cousin. Or something else. Maybe she simply wants out. There's been a lot of rumor about Nia wanting out, but that is fucking... I can't believe that's what she posted. You know, taking a shot at the wrestling universe is one thing, but that is... Look at my... it is kind of funny. Is anyone going to worry about my hand? I think that's pretty funny, personally. But still, Jesus Christ, man. That one punch from Nia Jax absolutely leveled Becky. Leveled her. All right. Final thing I want to talk about. Final thing I want to get to. Daniel Bryan's heel turn. Did it feel familiar to you? Did it feel like we just went through this? It should. It should feel very familiar. I think they're trying to pull another Becky. I think they're attempting to do the exact same thing with Daniel Bryan that they just did with Becky Lynch. It almost looks the exact same thing, too, except for the fact that Daniel's not turning on a very close friend, although they have known each other for a long time. So they're not going to go to the best friend, but it will be on a respect angle, which is what Becky Lynch's entire crux really was about. You know, the fact that she wants to be respected now as the man kind of speaks to that. You know what I mean? Daniel Bryan kind of looks in the same way. He was screaming about respect last night, and Daniel Bryan and Becky Lynch share a lot of things in common, one of them being they're two of the most beloved wrestlers, you know, personalities in the past 20, 25 years. People love Becky Lynch. People love Daniel Bryan, and internationally, they're incredibly respected. Incredibly respected. So it looks to me that they're going to try the exact same move here. You know, the Black Becky, the Black Bryan angle, where they're just going to go into this type of realm where Daniel's going to be a little bit more bitter. It's not going to be a full heel turn. He had something personal against AJ Styles, so he took it out against him, and he's going to do that. And I think that's a very smart way to go. It's a little troubling only because it's so soon. It's so quick to the Becky thing. It's like, really? We're going to get it already. But it's going to be a very interesting ride to see how it goes and plays out, completely turning everything and all of the plans going forward right on its head. I don't know. Okay. Ben Young, I said to my mate WWE showed the Nia punch because they're going for the heater for her to push with Ronda. Yeah, you know, I'm wondering if that's the case as well. This is just simply playing off of the Nia Jax heel persona at the moment. It could be as simple as that. We do tend to overthink a lot of things in wrestling nowadays. I just got a message from my boy, They Hate Jason. He was just like, you know, everybody seems to be nitpicking. I agree with that, but here's the dangerousness about that. When we have communities and we have, you know, industry that has fallen prey to so much nitpicking and everything, it really makes it easy for us to dismiss the things that maybe we shouldn't be dismissing. You know, when we get so desensitized that we look at stuff and we just dismiss it because it can't possibly be something. Well, that allows some people to get away with some shit. I felt for a long time that Nia Jax is a very selfish type worker. She seems to be quite entitled, too. It still doesn't give you a smoking gun as to why she would lay out Becky in the way that she did. But it does lend a little bit of credence to this entire argument of maybe we shouldn't just arbitrarily say, it's all wrestling, so why should we nitpick it? This isn't nitpicking a botched pinfall. This is debating whether or not somebody with more size and strength than anybody in her division was targeting somebody, potentially not just taking out a major angle, but taking out somebody for whatever reason. It doesn't matter if it was personal. It doesn't matter if it was jealousy. It doesn't matter if Becky ate Nia Jax's fucking animal crackers 6 years ago. None of that matters as to why. This is one of the rare cases where context doesn't necessarily matter, because you can't prove anything definitively in this one. This one, it's just like, you have to look at the effect. And it's not even like it's an ambiguous effect, like views or anything of that nature. You know, it's not like we're talking about the YouTube world where you can go, well, this guy lost 1,000 subs the week that the thing came out, but he rebounded, like with 700 of those subs came back the next week. We can't tell how much damage this is going to cause, not only to the storylines, but to obviously Becky's health. This isn't as ambiguous as that. You know, this is much more clear because it's a physical act in a sport where your control of your actions is everything. The control that you're supposed to have is quite literally everything. And that's the whole crux of the argument that people made against Brie Bella and wanted her gone for the same reasons. And I didn't even go with that angle with it was a control thing. I just think Brie Bella is awful. You know, it's just like she's given enough to where it's shown me she is terrible. So this has really been a little bit of a difficult thing to look at for me, because there's so many different sides to it, because you want to be fair. But are we just nitpicking? I don't really think we are in this case. It's just because Nia she's just a different quality of person. She's just bigger. She's stronger. That means she needs to be held to a different standard if she can't control her actions. I don't know. Kamel, he's not being mean. He's just has more spunk. Exactly. Fistable Frodo, I can't wait for the rapping Japanese man in Bryan Steve. Well done. Well done. Dalton Clark, I think it's more Dean the way he was laughing when beating AJ. Right? Yeah, there was some of that unhinged type of stuff, but he was still screaming about respect and such too. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. Ben Young, Nia is sloppy and green and a shit worker. I just mean WWE won't slap her on the wrist, but we'll use this to get Nia more heat from us. That could be possible too, and that could be a good thing, but it doesn't really explain why Nia would tweet out what she did. To not have any remorse, I mean, the last thing that you want, and maybe this can speak to why there's really this is a non-story after all. What you want, the last thing you really want to happen is for your peers to think that you're trying to hurt people. It'll end you. It really will. Fake. Daniel already turned heel a few weeks ago. Y'all just didn't realize it. He mocked the poor dumb hillbilly AJ with Pinocchio reference, the ultimate heel move. No, I did. I referenced this earlier. He has been acting more heelish in weeks, but he hasn't made the full turn. There's been suggestions, but he's also been in situations for a title and with The Miz. So even if he's mean to The Miz, is he really being mean? Yes, he was going more on his own pride and his own hubris. So I think that obviously it was leading up to something. So, you know, it's there. Fake. What if Nia and Becky shit is all a work? Well, it's not. Well, it happened. So it's not a work. They wouldn't have decided to punch Becky in the face and take her out of this match. Not with all the fucking heat. Not with all the hotness to this angle. Jesus Christ. Ben Young, bring in Piper Niven if they want big women. At least she can work. That's very true. Leaping Lizard, Nia Jax thing is obvious as the JBL and Blue Meanie incident. Yeah, there you go. Oh, God, I love my Leaping Lizard. You don't have a Leaping Lizard. I have a Leaping Lizard. Jealous? You should be. All right. We got no callers. I'm waiting to call. I basically don't have anything else to talk about. I think I hit on all the things that I wanted to do, I believe. I think SmackDown overall was kind of lame, to be completely honest. There was a lot of emphasis on the tag teams, and honestly, I just wanted to get to the stories that I cared about. It's not to say that anything was necessarily bad with the other matches. I didn't hate any of the other matches. I didn't hate Rey Mysterio versus The Miz. I didn't hate Andrade Cien Almas versus Jeff Hardy. I didn't hate any of it. I really didn't. I thought it was perfectly fine. I think it's a very strange thing they're doing with the team, with The Miz on SmackDown. I don't exactly know where that's going. I think Raw's probably going to win again, but then again, I'm not really sure. It's going to be very interesting. We'll see how it goes. I think Nia's done. No one will want to be in the ring with her anymore. I forgot about the tweet. Damn, yeah, the tweet is fucked up. Fake, give love to my sexy thumbnail people. That's right. Fake did a good job with this thumbnail. Vega did a great job with this frame. Hopefully you guys enjoyed everything that we talked about today. I think we've hit it all pretty well. I am going to be going to Twitch at some point. I'm going to relax a little bit and then jump on Twitch. Probably going to have a nice long stream today, so I might wait a little while, and maybe we'll stream right to my soul-crushing radio brethren, do some OG, and then we'll give them a nice big fat raid. Ben Young, will you be doing a prediction show? Yes, I will be doing a prediction show. The next 2 days of the Morning Slam, we'll take care of the prediction shows for NXT TakeOver and Survivor Series. We'll take care of that in the next 2 days. So tomorrow's Morning Slam will be a prediction show for NXT, and Friday's Morning Slam will be a prediction show for Survivor Series. And there you go. I'll be live on Twitch. Make sure you guys can catch me over there. We're going to be playing some more Red Dead Redemption 2 and any other game that you might have. We also got beer chugs, whiskey shots, vodka shots, all kinds of stuff. So get your asses over there and have a good time with me. Give a little love to the people who are supporting on Patreon. We got some people who have been on there for a very, very long time. I really do appreciate you guys who continue to show love to the channel in every way that you do, whether it's bits, subscriptions. If you're still buying Dead on Dave merch, I appreciate you. Go buy some copious shirts and all of that type of shit. It's good stuff. I need to be promoting it more. But most importantly, it's that stuff with Patreon and my Twitch support that I cannot thank you guys enough for. I love you. Thank you. Let's give some love to him on the way out with the outro by GunCannon. See you on Twitch in just a little bit playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Peace out, my mush puffs.